Okay, we're on video 3 of the air conditioning and electric heat simulator board, and we're going to cover the fan relay control today. We have 3 separate type of relays here. First of all, we're going to talk about the electronic circuit board relay here, and it actually has to have 24 volt power to this relay at all times from the transformer. 24 volt power and 24 volt common. And as we call for the fan circuit, either on fan on or cooling, then your G will energize from the thermostat to the terminal board over here to G. That will start a time delay process. The board has got a processor in it and a preset time delay that will close the set of contacts and bring on your indoor blower motor. Now, this control, as of any fan relay control for the electric heat system and air conditioning, you have to have a normally closed and a normally open contact with a common terminal. And as we look here, this is your common terminal. We call it common because it's in common with these other 2 terminals. Now, your normally closed contact is from here to this top terminal, and then you have a normally open contact here. That's the way it is, just sitting here without being energized. When it's energized, this normally closed contact, it will stay connected here at the common, but it will actually open up here from the normally closed and close at the normally open, which will complete the circuit for the indoor blower motor. Now, you have a leg of power from the 240 volts waiting here on the normally open contact. So when this relay is energized, this leg of power here, the relay will close from up here to across here, and this is connected to the high-speed fan, which will bring on your fan. Now, on the normally closed contact at the top here, it is the same leg of power, but it's coming from the heat relay, which is not energized at this time unless you have a call for heat. And when the heat relay energizes the first element, it will send power on through the normally closed contact and bring on the fan in the heating mode. So we don't really utilize this 24 volt power consuming device in the heating mode. We're to bring on the fan, but we're depending on the actual heat relay to send power, and it goes through the normally closed. Now, you would think, why do we even use the normally closed relay for the heating mode, since the actual heat sequencer over here brings on the heating element and just goes through the normally closed to bring on the fan? The reason we do that is if we're utilizing the same fan in the cooling mode and the heating mode. So in the cooling mode, when we bring power to the indoor fan, if we did not open up the circuit here on the normally closed that brings on the fan in the heating mode, we would backfeed the electricity and actually run one element with the air conditioning. That's why we have to have the normally closed contact that actually opens. I know that is kind of complicated. As we wire this up, I'm letting you know about it here, and it will make sense when we start wiring the system up, and you'll realize it. Now, you could actually use heating without this fan relay, because again, we do not utilize the relay control to bring on our fan in the heating mode. We utilize the heat relay, brings on the elements and the fan. We're only using a normally closed contact for a safety precaution, or to keep from running, the electric heat element at the same time as the electricity. Another type of fan relay is an induction relay here. I just dropped this and broke it, but anyway, it's still intact here, enough to show you. The 2 terminals here on the bottom and over here are your relay coil. And then you have 2 sets of actual contacts. This one here, if you looked at the schematic to here, is a normally open contact and is a normally closed. Just like we talked about up here, it's just 24 volt induction coil with 2 sets of normally open, normally closed contacts. So therefore, this is a pretty universal relay. Just because we have 2 sets of normally closed, normally open contacts does not mean we have to use them both. We decide which set we want to use. We only need one normally open, normally closed contact with a common terminal. And it's got the schematic on top of here. If you use this set on top, you got to normally open from here to here, this being the common terminal. You got to normally close from here to here. If the relay energizes, it's normally closed, opens, and then you'll have it, the normally open will be closed then. We won't use this other set of contacts. Vice versa, if you want to use the bottom set, you can. But it's just a universal relay that's got extra, that can be used for several things in the air conditioning field. And this is the most popular one. It looks like the most expensive one, but it's actually the less expensive because it's used more frequently. And as far as the induction coil, difference than the electronic coil, you can see the coil there on the bottom. It's just a coil of wires that as it energizes, it's electromechanical control, and it's a fast acting. It's not time delay like this electronic relay. When we energize the coil here, it immediately magnetizes the coil and pulls a plunger and mechanically closes the switch from magnetism. That's why they call it induction coil, and it is fast acting. The electronic relay is a time delay. I have another type of fan relay here. It looks like the cheaper one, but it's less used, so therefore usually it's more expensive. But they're all interchangeable. You have your 24-volt coil here at the bottom, and if you look up here at the top, you got a common terminal here that is closed across here, and up on energizing the control, it opens here and goes up to this one on the, and closes as normally open. So you have a normally closed, normally open contact with a common terminal. Same difference. So don't get confused. Again, just remember, we need a 24-volt power consuming coil, either electric solid state or induction, that will actually close a set of contacts of normally open and normally closed to operate the system. So if this can be interchanged with the other one if need be, and you will see all 3 styles out in the field.